Looks like I am live, and I'm hoping that somebody tunes into this live, but I don't expect anyone to necessarily tune into this live. So it's highly likely that you are going to see this on the recorded or the pre-recorded version. So what I would love for you to do is, if you have any questions, please post them below down in the comments. Excuse me as I put my phone on silent so I'm not interrupted here. But here's what I'm doing. So I've kind of rebranded this channel a little bit, and I'm super excited about what I'm talking about. High probability selling, and a little bit of go for no. So you guys are probably more familiar with Go for No. They're a sales training company. They've written several books. They call them business fables. Super, super fun to read. However, they have a really big focus on like network marketing, multi-level marketing, whatever you want to call it. And they've had people become super successful with it. So I highly recommend, reading any of those books. I read the original Go for No book before I discovered high probability selling. And I saw a lot of similarities between both approaches to sales. And I've actually seen as of late that they've kind of teamed up and started doing some things together. So it goes above and beyond just like network marketing and just talking about sales in general. And it's a truly, truly different approach to sales. How do you go about getting sales? How do you go about getting business? Heavy emphasis on high probability prospecting. What does that mean? What does high probability prospecting mean? It means sifting through everyone that tells you no and only dealing with the people that tell you yes or maybe, and kind of determining what is best for your follow-up. So that's why today I want to talk about pipelines and databases, because I feel like people get so focused on building a pipeline in a database, and it almost becomes like a buzzword. Like it makes somebody feel like they've been productive for the day to say, oh, I added one or two people to the pipeline. I added 5 or 6 people to my database. And don't get me wrong, I've fallen into that trap before as well. However, it puts you in the opposite mind frame that you should be in if you're adopting high probability sales, or even doing a go for no style kind of prospecting. And what I mean by go for no style prospecting is the script that I use when I'm prospecting in cold calling and getting through the numbers that I need to get through on a daily basis in order to be successful and productive is a very simple script. And it's almost leading with a negative instead of trying to entice somebody to tell you yes. Right. So, for example, today I just finished up my prospecting sessions. I always do my prospecting sessions from 8 to 11 in the morning or 9 to noon, depending on what time I get started. But for me, it doesn't matter what time I necessarily get started. What matters is the time that I spend on the task, or how many no's do I get in that day. And it really just depends on the time that I have in that day. And today I wanted to get this video out. And as you'll see over time, I'm going to kind of scale back how often I post, but I'm going to do these live and then leave the pre-recorded session up there, because I love to field the questions and have as many people see it as possible. But as I'm trying to get the word out, I'm going to post more frequently, maybe daily, maybe every other day, of just kind of what comes to mind. They're going to be more like rants, because similar to the way that I prospect, the planning that I do up front is knowing exactly what it is that I want to say and what I want to show you and in the message that I want to get across. However, I don't do the planning like, hey, I'm going to do it once a week or something like that, because I may not stick to that schedule. But as I go out there, you can guarantee that this content is going to be value added to you, and you can definitely use it anytime that you go about it. So where was I? Prospecting, pipelines, and databases. Okay, listen. The script that I use when I'm prospecting, I said it in the video prior to this, but today my script, I switched it up a little bit, and I like it, and I'm always kind of learning and going forward. But as I go forward, I look for something that I can use in any situation. Let's say tomorrow I plan on going out and doing some door knocking. If I go do door knocking, I'm going to use the same script. If I'm talking to an absentee owner, I'm going to use the same script. If I'm talking to a downsizer, same script. If I'm talking to an expired or for sale by owner, same script. Keep it simple, okay? It's very, very simple. The script goes like this. Hi, this is Blake Wallace from Wallace Realty Group. I was hoping to speak to the owner of 123 Main Street. Great. So, listen, just curious. You're not thinking about selling right now, are you? If they say no, thank them, get off the phone. If they say yes, no, or maybe, say, great, I'm looking for properties to market for my firm. Do you want to get together to see if my services are something that you want? Okay. Very simple, very natural progression of a conversation. It gets them on and off the phone quickly. What do I count as a no? A no is somebody that hangs up. That's a no. Somebody that flat out tells me no, that's a no. Somebody that tells me they're not thinking about selling for another year, maybe two, that's a no. What does not count are wrong numbers or disconnected numbers. Those do not count as contacts. Those do not count as no's. So as you're counting your no's and you set a no goal for how many no's that you want to get in a day, you're not going to count those wrong numbers. You're only going to you're only going to count the ones that you speak to the person, verified as the homeowner, and you've gotten a no, maybe, whatever it is from them. Okay. Timelines we'll go over in another video and we'll talk about how we're organizing our leads. But I'm just letting you know that anytime somebody tells you no, you're not deleting them from your database at all. Okay. So the reason why I want to talk about that up front is because when people talk about pipelines and databases, okay, it puts you in a scarcity mindset right away. Because first of all, you're thinking that anybody that tells you no, you're thinking that you're losing that person because you're not able to put them into your pipeline or your database, so to speak. Right. Only reason why a database would be something of value is if you have a system that you're going to follow up with them on a regular basis and they're actually going to engage with it. There's actually a potential that they're going to see your information and reach out to you at some point in time and say, hey, I want to sell my house or I want to buy a house. And if I'm honest, there's no agent's database that is that potent, right? That is that high probability to where you can honestly say that of every so many people in your database, that you can say that they're going to bring you a deal or two deals or three. What comes from that, or what that does end up coming from, is how often you're willing to hear no from your contact list. Okay, so follow me here. Hear me out. All right, your pipeline that you're building should only be the people that tell you no when you move into your no folder, which within Prospect Boss that I use is actually a cold lead folder. My cold lead folder are the people that have told me no. Those are people that are going to get called every 6 months. And I'm going to ask them the exact same question. And they're going to tell me the exact same no, or yes, or maybe. But here's why that's so important. Because in that folder, the people that have told me no, I know that I have the right phone number. I know that they own the house that I'm calling about. And I know that they've told me no before. But things change all the time. Okay. So that lets me know that as I'm calling every single day and I add more and more people to my cold folder, the more people that I add to that folder, the more high probability and the more warm that those leads get. Okay. And as they move along in the process and they tell me maybe, or they're going to be moving in a few months, or they're going to be moving next week, I move them into a warm or a hot folder. But it all starts with a large list of numbers that I have, right? And that's considered my contact list. There's no pipeline, there's no database. It doesn't matter, okay? Your pipeline and your database does not matter. The people that tell you no, you move them over to a folder. If you're prospecting today and somebody tells you that they want to sell their house or they want to buy a house or whatever it is that you're calling about, if somebody tells you today that they want to buy that house, that is a hot lead. That's somebody that you're going to follow up with, whether it be daily, weekly, monthly. You determine what that time frame is based on the time frame in which they want to move. Okay. Now, that person that's told you yes, that's somebody that you can put in the pipeline. But if you're only focused on building a pipeline or building a database, for example, if somebody tells you no, they're not interested in selling, and you ask them, okay, great, can I stay in contact with you? What's your email address? Just like the reflex no, that reflex is going to be to tell you any piece of information to get you off the phone. And I don't know how many people out there today have these fake email addresses and just catch-all email addresses where they send any old spam. If they're that willing to give up their email address that quick, chances are they're never even going to see your email. So you can't only focus on doing something like that, where you put somebody on an automated drip email. That's not a database. There's no value there. There's no value there. You're better off letting them tell you no, letting them go, and then calling them again in 6 months. They're going to hear from you twice a year. Okay. If they're hearing from you twice a year and they're hearing from everybody else, but everybody else is trying to push them to get an email address and send them information and do all this other crap. Okay. If they hear from you and you tell them, are you thinking about selling your house? They tell you no, you let them go. They're thinking that you're the agent that is saving them time, not wasting their time, and not being pushy. So now when they hear from you and they hear from anybody else, everybody else acts as a commercial for you. And by the time they come around and they're ready to do something, and you ask them, do you want to get together to talk about if my service is something that you want? They'll remember you. They'll sit down with you and you'll be able to build a relationship from there. The relationship is built on mutual performance and trust. All right. So if you haven't done anything for them yet, there's no relationship built. Doesn't matter what you send them in their email or whatever you mail them. Okay. So pipelines, databases, these things have been used over and over again to allow people to justify structured procrastination. Okay. You start thinking about what you're going to start doing with this database, what you're going to do with this pipeline. Then you take time away from your prospecting to develop drip emails or direct mail sequences or anything that is taking away from the time that's making you money. Okay. You don't have to do any of that. You don't have to do any of it. If you call your list, if you get a list of 20,000 phone numbers, okay? And I can show you exactly how to get a list of 20,000 phone numbers. And you can even supplement that list with some higher probability contacts by using things like absentee owners and things like that. I'm telling you, if you supplement this list and you get a large list of anywhere that you want to sell houses, any area, any zip code, whatever it may be, upload that into your dialer and call that list over and over again, you will have unlimited success, unlimited leads. Okay. You'll develop unlimited leads for not a lot of money at all. For a dialer that costs maybe $130 a month. Okay. All in. You can get your leads, you can dial, you can smile, and you can get it all done, and you can organize your leads that way. Okay. This is something that I'm telling you that I'm super passionate about. And what I need people to start thinking about is you're no longer building a pipeline in a database. The only time that I want anybody to think about building a pipeline is their pipeline of active listings. Okay. That's a pipeline because that pipeline is going to bring you actual revenue into your team, your company, your pocket, whatever it may be. All right. So once you have a pipeline of 2, 3, 4 active listings, that is a pipeline. That's truly a pipeline. But just somebody that told you, yes, you can keep in contact with me with an email, that's not a pipeline. You don't know if that's going to bring you business. You have no idea. You have no idea where this business is coming from. Anybody can reach out to anybody. Your email can go directly to spam. Okay. You don't know where that email is going. You don't know where any of that stuff is going. All right. As long as you're making those contacts, you hit the contact. Somebody tells you no, move them to a folder, mark it on your calendar. You're calling them in January, and then you're calling them again in June. Okay. January and June, you start hitting them up. And every month you're cycling through your contacts. Again, keep watching this channel because I'm going to show you step by step exactly how you maintain your contact list in order to maintain the numbers that you need to get to the amount of calls that you need to be making. The number one reason why salespeople fail, real estate agents especially, you're not making enough contacts. And if you start focusing on this pipeline and you put somebody in your database, you follow up 3 or 4 times, they don't answer, then you just delete them forever. Now your pipeline's going down. Now you're feeling like you're losing every single day. You're feeling like you're losing leads. You get drained. The energy is sucked from you. You need to set how many times are you willing to hear the word no before you hear a yes. Okay. Mine is 30. I look for 30 a day because I know that if I get 100 no's, I'm going to get 1 listing. That means that I can systematically, over the month, I can pull in 1 hot listing lead per week. And that's been proven. No matter what, that's been proven. 100 no's equal a yes. All right. And that goes down the more frequently you hear no. So that cold lead, I don't need to hear that many no's before I get a yes. If I call that list again in about 6 months, every other one might say yes. You just never know. But I've already heard no from them. So now that's my second time going around going for no. You want to create unlimited opportunities for you to go for no on any given day. Look, I've rambled on for quite some time here. This has been going for about 15 minutes. The bottom line is that I want you to understand. Pipelines and databases. These are a myth. These are things, I'm not saying that it's a conspiracy theory or anything like that for people that are selling CRMs and stuff like that. All of that stuff has value, but you have to understand what you're putting in your pipeline and what you're putting in your database. And you cannot let that allow you to fall into structured procrastination when it comes to building your business. And the only way that you build your business is to hear no over and over again. You need to fail. You need to fail fast. You need to fail over and over and over again. All right. So put your no script together. Okay. Put it together. This is your no script for real estate. Hey, just curious. You don't want to sell your house right now, do you? Or you aren't thinking about selling right now, do you? Or you don't want to sell right now, do you? That's the script. Keep it simple. Say it over and over again. People are going to say, I don't. No, no. They'll hang up. You're going to get people that are pissed off at you. Expect that, embrace it, and understand that there's a greater goal in mind. You'll start saying thank you to people just for telling you no because they're getting you closer to your goal. And as soon as somebody says yes, you know exactly what to say. That's great. I'm looking for properties to market for my firm. Do you want to get together to see if my services are something that you want? How easy is that? How relaxed does that make you feel now? You're not pushing. You're not being pushy. You're not pushing them into saying yes. You're not convincing them to sell their house because sales is not a convincing game. You're not persuading anyone. If somebody really, really wants something, they're going to tell you yes. Then you can figure out if they already have a real estate agent or whatever. Okay. You can get to that. But all the qualifying and things like that, you don't have to do. You don't have to make this hard. Keep it simple so that you can do it every single day. And I'm telling you, you'll be successful. All right. If you have any questions, please put them down in the comments. Trust me, I want to answer all the questions. If you disagree, put it down in the comments. I would love to hear what your thoughts are. Pipelines and database. I know there are a lot of coaches out there that are talking about building up this database so that you never have to cold call again and things like that. That time will come. You'll get referrals. I'm definitely not saying to neglect past clients and sphere of influence, but what I'm saying is you're not going to get that much business from your past clients and sphere of influence as you are if you just stick to the script. Okay. And that script is every single day, 3 hours a day, jump on the phones and do your job. And that's what our job is. Okay. We're out here to find people to help. What better way to find people to help? Get yourself a simple script, log into the dialer, and let's get this bread. Now, again, future videos, I will be live prospecting. You're going to hear so many people tell me no. You're going to hear me get cussed out. You might even see me get a little bit frustrated because I'm human. But at the same time, I'm going to always stick to my script. But I'm also going to post videos that are going to give you in detail, step by step, how I'm organizing my leads and also breaking down the tools that I use that can get you set up and running within 24 hours so that you can start going for no every single day. You need to have unlimited opportunities out here, okay? And there are unlimited opportunities. You don't have to just focus on expireds and for sale by owners. If you do, there's a script for that as well. But I'm telling you, you need to be hitting the contacts. You need to be making lots and lots of contacts every single day. All right. It's been Blake Wallace. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you have any questions, like I said, put it down in the comments. Like this, share this, subscribe to my page, do whatever, because tomorrow, maybe even the day after, I'm going to be posting another one. And I don't know what I'm going to talk about yet, but I wanted to get this out there because what I'm trying to do right now is start to get a mindset shift from everybody out there doing everything else and focusing on all the wrong things. It's time to get hyper focused and get your business in order. All right. Thanks for watching.